Well, good morning. Hello. It is so great to be here. So glad to see you here. Thanks for joining me. Do you know what they need? Who's they? Do you know what your clients need? Today I want to talk about of course, you want your clients to love you and to rave about you to all of their friends, but how can you guarantee that they will? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So, let me tell you a story that goes along with this topic, though. My husband and I were foster parents for the very first time, or we got our first placement. And it was that first night with our first foster placement, a 4-year-old boy. Now, you need to understand some backstory here. So I had 3 younger brothers. I babysat. I've been around kids and babies and that sort of thing. My husband has not. And he hadn't been around a lot of kids. He wasn't really comfortable around kids. Now he's a middle school teacher, so give him a middle school students, and he likes to say those are his people, but not necessarily little kids. Now, as we were going on this foster care journey, we were, I think, planning in our heads for a baby or maybe under 2. And so we had a very different picture of what we were expecting and what we were planning for. So we had clothes and toys for younger children. We even had a crib. We didn't have anything for 4-year-old, and we really didn't know when we found out that we were gonna be getting a 4-year-old in our home. We really didn't know what to do or how to prepare or what he was gonna need from us. So on that very first night, we're sitting at dinner. This child who was just uh, placed at our home. We were trying to make him feel as comfortable as possible. And my husband literally looked at me and said, "What do we feed it?" He was so distressed and so distraught and not knowing what to do. He didn't have a plan. He didn't know, he was afraid that he was going to make a mistake. He didn't know what this child was going to need from us. And he was completely paralyzed by not knowing what to do. Luckily, we figured it out. We took some deep breaths. We made a plan. We learned from a lot of people. We read a lot of books. We figured out, and we got to know this young man. And we figured it out. And now he is our 10-year-old son. And we're very grateful for that. But that first night was scary, probably for all of us, let's be honest, especially for our son. But that moment for us, I just remember how terrified we were, because you know that as a child grows, you know that they need different things at different stages in life. You know that as a baby, they need to be fed and change, and they need sleep. As they grow older, they need stimulation. They need to be played with. They need to learn skills. They need to interact with their world. And as you grow, you need different things at every single different stage. At the toddler stage, you need different things than you needed as an infant. As a 4-year-old, you needed different things than you needed as an infant or even as a toddler. And as you grow into school age, into teenager, into young adulthood, into adulthood, we all need different things at different stages. The exact same thing happens for our clients. And I'm not sure that we give this enough thought. Your client goes through stages from the moment that hear your name and are introduced to who you are to the end. We'll just call it the end, whatever that end is. Hopefully, a very long journey with you. But there's a lot of growth that happens from over here to over here. And at every stage, they're going to go through stages. Let's assume this person becomes a client. So they're introduced to you, they're intrigued, they get to know you more. They follow you on your social media or watch your videos, or maybe they take a class or join a free event, a free challenge that you're running. Then you make an offer and they raise their hand and say, "I'm interested." And so they go through a sales process with you, where now you're taking them through this process. And then they say, "Yes, I'm going to buy." And now they become a client, and now they're onboarding, and now they're experiencing your service or your product. Now they're done with that service or product. and now they're in kind of a nurture mode. So that's a lot of stages, just like real life, just like child development. Those are a lot of stages. And at every one of those stages, those people need something different from you. They need something different from you when they first hear about you than when they have already been served by you, already love you, are already talking to their friends about you, right? So, what we have to do is to anticipate at every stage what they might need from us. No, we're not going to learn everything. You'll learn as you go as well, but we need to take the time to anticipate and think through what clients are going to need from us at every stage of the game. And if we can do that, if we are intentional about that, if we can have a plan for that, if we can have a journey mapped out for that, it gives us a couple things. One, it gives us a predictable experience. So we get to define this experience based on our brand. If we know who we are as our brand, as an identity, we can make sure that our client experience reflects that brand. Okay, so that's the first thing. So you get to be intentional about creating that brand or creating that customer experience based on who you say you are and who you've promised that you're going to be for your clients. So that's one thing. You get to determine that. The second thing is you have a consistent client experience. From client to client, the experience will be similar so that you don't have one client coming in and saying this about you and another client coming in and saying this about you. Like there is consistency and it aligns with your brand. So now you got the consistency. Now the other great benefit of having this journey mapped out is that now you get to look for the gaps, figure out where maybe you aren't serving as well, and you can either fill in those gaps or even maybe plan in some wow moments. I like to say you've got to plan your wow. Think about where you can surprise and delight your clients. Just little things. Doesn't have to be anything major. I think for me, one of the biggest things is being very aware of how, if we have a Zoom meeting, how people are going to find that Zoom meeting easily and quickly and not have to think about it. I can't tell you how many times I've had to search for a Zoom link or search for that email that says how to connect. So that is just one of those little things that may not appear to be a huge wow, but it's one of the ways that I take care of my clients. I try to make sure that those Zoom links are everywhere they need to be to make it super easy to find. Just a little thing. But I can see that because I mapped out that client journey and thought about every stage what they were going to need from me. So just like that, our son, when he came to us that first night, we didn't have a plan. We really were flying by the seat of our pants, and we had to figure it out as we went. You don't have to do that for your clients. But just like that little boy who sat at our dinner table, he had specific needs at the age of 4, different needs than he had as an infant, different needs than he has now as a 10-year-old. And so we have to be able to identify what those needs are and figure out how we are going to serve those needs, how we're going to best anticipate those needs. Now, here's the cool thing about having this great client experience is it drives loyalty. It makes your clients love you, they are wowed by you, and it makes them talk about you. So they're going to talk about you to other people. They become your raving fans and they start giving you referrals. Now, how amazing is that to have the raving fans and to have them talking about you and sending you referrals? So if you're curious where to even start with this, I've actually put together a free guide called The 4 Steps to Driving Loyalty and Referrals. And it's exactly about this process, figuring out how to anticipate what your clients need at every stage of the game. So if you're interested in that and you want that free guide, the link is there at the bottom of the screen. I will also come back and put them in the comments when this live stream is over. But download the free guide, 4 Steps to Driving Loyalty and Referrals. It's a bit.ly/4, the number 4, capital steps, capital loyalty, and capital referrals is the link. So it's a little bit long, but it gets you there. So download that guide today and get started on creating that amazing client experience and driving that loyalty and those referrals. All right, my friends, I hope this has been helpful for you today and maybe a little entertaining even. Be sure to download that today and catch me next Thursday where we'll talk about some more solopreneur business topics. All right, my friend. Oh, I'm not sure that I ever introduced myself. If you have stuck out this long, thank you. My name is Tiffany Huckelman, and I am the founder of Lone Orange. And I come here every Thursday at 9 a.m. to share with you little tidbits about how you can grow your solopreneur business beyond yourself without the headaches and with more profit. So I will be back here next Thursday, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Bye.